Today, we're diving into one of life's tough realities. It's something that's hard to come to terms with, but it's a vital lesson if you want to keep moving forward. Now, let's talk about something uncomfortable. The people in your life who refuse to grow. The ones who, despite having the chances, the guidance, and even the support, just won't change. It's a bitter pill to swallow because, to those of us committed to growth, it's a foreign concept. Growth is why we're here. It's why we push ourselves to ask hard questions, to build discipline, to develop self-awareness. But for some people, growth is seen as a threat. Why? Because evolving means confronting the parts of ourselves that are uncomfortable, and it's terrifying for those who aren't ready. To you and me, self-improvement is a journey worth taking, but to others, it feels like an assault on their comfort zone, their identity, and even their sense of safety. It's not just about laziness or defiance. There's a deeper psychological battle going on. See, a lot of people who resist change aren't just being difficult. They're struggling under the weight of insecurities, fears, and unhealed traumas. When you try to show them a different perspective, they don't see it as helpful advice. Instead, they see it as an attack on everything they've built to protect themselves. They're like a wounded animal lashing out at anyone who gets too close. The worst part? Often, these are people we care deeply about, parents, siblings, close friends, or even our partners. When someone you love chooses stagnation over growth, it's not just frustrating, it's painful. But no matter how much we want to help them, here's the hard truth. You can't make someone evolve if they don't want to. Growth is an inside job. It can't be forced no matter how much you try. This is a painful realization, especially when you see the potential they're wasting. You want to shake them and make them see what's possible, but deep down, you know it's not your call to make. They have to choose it for themselves. Until then, every attempt you make will be met with resistance, defensiveness, or worse, outright hostility. They might lash out, accuse you of being arrogant, or try to pull you down to their level. Why do they act this way? It's because, in their eyes, your growth threatens their stability. It makes them question their choices and their worldview. And that kind of introspection is terrifying. To grow, they'd have to confront their demons, go back to painful moments, and unravel the lies they've told themselves to feel safe. That's no small task. In fact, for some people, it feels like standing on the edge of an abyss. Their brains are designed to protect them from this pain. As we've talked about in other sessions, the brain's main job is to keep us safe. For many, diving into old wounds feels like being thrown into a pit of fire. Their entire nervous system reacts, fight, flight, or freeze. When you try to talk to them about growth, they interpret it as a threat, triggering these survival responses. They might shut down, avoid the topic, or become aggressive. This is their way of keeping you and growth at arm's length. And while you might see this as a cop-out, for them, it's a deeply ingrained survival mechanism. It's not your job to fix them, and honestly, you can't. No one can. They have to want to fix themselves. They have to want more for themselves. The best thing you can do? Protect your own peace and lead by example. Keep growing, keep learning, keep pushing yourself forward. Show them what's possible, but don't let them drag you down into their pit of resistance. We're not saying cut them off, unless that's what you need for your own well-being. But you do need to set boundaries because they will try to pull you back. They'll mock your progress, downplay your efforts, and try to paint you as the bad guy. They'll do anything to make you seem like the one who's lost because it validates their choice to stay the same. You have to rise above that. You have to remind yourself that your journey is yours alone. If you want to keep these people in your life, approach your conversations carefully. When they start to push back, don't argue. Instead, frame things in a way that makes it clear how their actions impact you. Use phrases like, "I feel hurt when you do this," instead of, "You shouldn't act like that." It's a small shift, but it keeps the focus on your experience instead of their behavior. It's less likely to trigger their defenses. But be prepared. For some people, no matter how carefully you phrase it, no matter how much compassion you show, they just won't change. They'll stay stuck in their cycles, convinced that it's everyone else who's wrong, not them. This is one of the hardest things to accept, but it's also freeing. Because once you realize that their stagnation isn't your responsibility, you're free to focus on your own growth. Remember, not everyone will get to the top with you. Some people are meant to be lessons. They show you what happens when fear wins, when growth is stunted. They teach you patience, resilience, and the value of your own journey. But you have to know when to step back and let them be. There will always be those who choose comfort over evolution, who stay in their bubble while you break free. And you'll have to make a choice too. Will you keep trying to save them at the cost of your own progress? Or will you save yourself first? Keep growing, keep pushing, keep climbing higher. Show them what's possible, but never sacrifice your journey for theirs. If they want to join you, they'll have to do the work themselves. Stay strong and keep reaching for the top.